what's happening, everybody? It's your boy Onyx at Going Full Nerd, and hey, you can see the title of this particular episode, and it's Marvel's Eternals are coming to the big screen. The birth of the power cosmic in the MCU. Well, it's not so much the birth. I mean, we've had some cosmically powered things. I mean, Endgame is strictly cosmic. Go figure. But Marvel, after 10 years and growing into the massive powerhouse when it comes to the superhero genre movies, they decide they're going to bring the Eternals to the big screen. And I'm going to explain in a little bit who the Eternals are. But think about this. Years ago, they announced that they were going to have an Inhumans movie. And with the state of Marvel Comics at the time, it seemed like a good idea. The X-Men, really, people, whether you loved it or hated, their movie rights were over at Fox. The characters in the comic books were all over the place, and we couldn't tell if they were coming or going. So, over in the comic books, the Inhumans were going to replace the X-Men. I mean, basically, you had them slowly taking over in the comic books. You know, wherever you could place a mutant, they were placing Inhumans. And a live-action movie got put on deck. I mean, it made sense. But then I think talks started happening about the Fox acquisition because things like that don't happen overnight. And then the Inhuman storyline said, well, you know what? We're going to add a little more to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. about the Inhumans. Then we're going to cancel the movie and make it into a television series. Well, the television series, a lot of us felt that, you know, hey, we ended up with a half-done series on ABC. Really didn't get the traction that it needed. Wasn't nowhere near good enough. And boom, after one season, they were easily forgotten. Yes. So let's fast forward and take a look at now. Marvel now has the Eternals on deck. Okay, this is another hidden race in the Marvel universe. Okay, they're often mistaken for Greek gods. Remember that. So they are one of the many creations of the other parent of the Marvel Universe. You know, Jack, the King Kirby. A lot of you don't know about him, but he's one of the other great comic book creators. You know, he was responsible for characters like the New Gods and Darkseid, which Warner Brothers is getting a movie with the New Gods. And anyway, we'll just step away from that for a moment. That'll be a discussion for another time. Now, this is the thing. The Eternals played important roles in many Thor comic books over time, and they also had members who served as Avengers. They also had their own series, which ran from July 1976 to January 1978. And Marvel tried to resurrect these characters a few other times in their own series, like 85 to 86, 2006 to 2007, 2008 to 2009. And they never really took flight. Though the stories were okay, they were better at supporting characters in Avengers and things like that. I mean, most recently in the Avengers comics, they basically killed off all the Eternals, or at least the main Eternals characters that were highlighted in those books. But think about it. These characters are closely connected to the Celestials, which we got a good look at in films like Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers, Infinity War, Doctor Strange, you know, and things like that, as they're bringing the MCU into a more cosmic type of entity where we're going to get more stories that happen with the characters and alien races and things like that. So what brought me up to talk about this? I mean, this is really obscure for me to make a video about. Well, rumors are starting that Angelina Jolie is in talks with Marvel for an unknown role associated with the Eternals film. Well, the only character I could think of that she would play is Cersei. I really hope it is Cersei, because Cersei has a connection to the Avengers. She served as an Avenger. Okay? Also, they're looking for the Marvel version of Hercules. Remember my statement a couple of seconds ago about Greek gods? Yeah. And you know, other strange about the casting notes is Hercules may or may not be associated with the LGBT community. Now, no matter how you feel about that, bringing Marvel's Hercules to the big screen, that's kind of hot. I'm thinking about it. It might be kind of cool. So, think about it. If Marvel is going to go cosmic, this is the way to do it. I mean, if you look at the Eternals, they're part of the race that spawned, you guessed it, Thanos. That's right. They mentioned it in Infinity War. Thanos was on Titan. Well, the Eternals in the comic books, they had set up on Earth, and a portion of them went to Titan. And that's where Thanos was born. So that's something to think about. This may or may not be explored in future MCU films, but it can open up so many more doors to bringing in more villains and more heroes. Just saying. Just putting it out there. So let me ask you, does this little bit of information make you excited about the Eternals? How do you think they're going to fit in? Hey, let me know in the comments. Let me know via Twitter. Okay? And make sure you hit like, share, and subscribe no matter where you're checking this out. So if you're checking me out on anchor.fm/goingfullnerd, remember, give this podcast a little applause. If you're checking me out on youtube.com/goingfullnerd, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell to get notified for discussions like this. And also you can check me out on Facebook, a little Facebook group, a little something I do on the side. But anyway, this is your boy Onyx, Going Full Nerd. Peace, y'all, and I'm out of here.